Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Today we are checking out the S3 Pro battery head strap made by Bobovr. This is for your MetaQuest 3 and 3S headsets. It retails for $140 Canadian on the website and on Amazon. That's $90 American on each of those. I'll link below where you can find that. And this one I'm going to unbox it. I'll show you how to assemble it. I'll show you a case that it fits in, I'll do all the specs, and of course I'll give you my full review of it in the end. Make sure you stick around for that. If you haven't checked out my other VR accessory reviews, I'll link that playlist below. Let's jump into this one. Okay, let's open this up. Okay, so we just unboxed it. So inside we obviously have the head strap itself. We have a larger user manual, which you might think is really thick, but it's just in a lot of languages. That's one reason why it's so big. Charging cable for our battery, user manual with the battery as well, because you can get more of these separately. Our honeycomb pad, and then in the box at the very top there, we have our assembly instructions that you can use. And yeah, we can use that. So let's just take a look at this here. On the back we have our extension and contraction knob. Right down here this says down, so that's the downside. The battery part's going to be on the top. I'm just going to extend this out a little bit first, just so we can get a good look at what we're working with here. Gonna extend these arms down a little bit. Inside of the arms we have a big L, and on this side we have a big R for left and right. Okay, so to assemble this, I actually ended up putting back on the original strap because this might be the first third-party strap that you get. So I wanted to show you how to take this off. To take off the original strap, it's actually pretty easy. You can see on the inside here, little extra piece of plastic. Pinch that, pull it outwards. This is just going to pop off. Same on this side. Pop it off. And then if you need to, you can remove the facial interface. To do that, you're just going to pinch in the top and the bottom on both sides. You got the bottoms loose. Let's see if we can get the tops loose. There we go. That'll pop off there. And then this middle strap, you're just going to undo the Velcro and just feed it through there. Boom. Now it's off. So according to our instructions, these pieces here are going to slide into right here. I'm just doing both sides just a little bit at a time, so it's not going to make it uneven at all. So we're going to slide those right up to the ports on both sides. And you could probably hear it moving a little bit as well. Charging port here is the next step. It says to plug that in, so that can be plugged in there. Our next step is to take our battery. You can see on the bottom there we have our magnetic pieces. That's going to go onto the back right here. There we go. We heard that come on. On the side over here, it tells us to press to start fan. It's just a sticker, so I'm going to take that off. Leaves us with the actual little screen there. There we go. Press that. Now it says the fan speed is 50. Our battery is 31%. Turning the dial, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it is cranking up and cranking down. And if you want to also check this battery, there's a button on the back here. And there you go. It shows me 2 dots, but it shows me the percentage on the side over here of 31. All right, you might be asking yourself, what's the honeycomb pad for? Well, if you look on their website, it actually tells you that if you want to use the honeycomb pad for like exercise games, workout games, high intensity games, this can be put in the place of our back bottom strap here. This is put on with Velcro, as you can see. And so you can take off that bottom and put this on instead, and that's just supposed to help with it being more breathable and with sweating. On the top here, we have our obvious forehead pad. We have these top of the head pads that are adjustable as well. And we have our back that we can twist in and out. Okay, so I'm gonna go use this. I'm excited to try this one out. Like I said in the intro, I've heard a ton of good things about this. I don't know if my hopes are set too high, but we'll see how this goes, and then I'll come back, give you a try on, talk more about all the specs, and give you my review of it as well. Okay, so here we have the case by Bobovr, as you can see there. It's a pretty big case. It even kind of lifts up at the front a little bit there. So let's see if this will fit in here. Okay, so in order for this to fit, I actually had to kind of just adjust how it was sitting on there, tilting the headset up so that I could put the fan part of this further down, and then just cranking in the back part a little bit there. And then it did fit in here. It was a little bit tight, but I don't think it was putting any pressure anywhere that would be dangerous for it. And again, if you wanted to, you could take out the battery. The battery really wasn't in the way. It's just the top of it here that is getting on there. So this case does work. Obviously, there are many other cases that do work, but I just wanted to show you the size of it and how it works with this one here. Okay, so I've had this for about a week now, been able to test it on a lot of different games. Now I'm excited to tell you my review, do a little try on for you, give you some specs, and just talk about it. So first, let's do a little try on. You can twist this counterclockwise to loosen it there, put it on, and then tighten it clockwise to where it will fit for you. There we go. So we have a lot of different points of adjustment here. We have the points right here, both sides. We have points up here, and then we obviously have the knob on the back that can adjust it as well. To take it off, just twist it counterclockwise again, loosen it up, and it'll pop right off there. Okay, so let's go around the headset here. Our padding on the back and on the front is very nice. Very, very soft memory foam. I found that it really cradled the back of my head. It felt very comfortable to put on. It didn't feel off at all, where sometimes they feel off. And then this, since it is that leather material, it is very easy to clean. You can wipe it off. All of these are removable via Velcro, and so you can easily remove them if you want to clean them and put them back on as well. Knob is really easy to turn, to tighten and loosen. We got our cord coming out of the side, connecting to here, and then it connects down to the headset right here. Our fan button here, really easy to just click on, really easy to adjust with this dial, even in games. I found it super easy to use. On the back, we have our battery. So this is a hot swappable battery. You can buy these individually, so you can have more than one. Very strong magnet. I did some pretty active games with this. I did a full 25-minute workout with them, and I never found that this was jiggling off or anything. It was definitely secure in there. You don't have to worry about that. To attach it, as you saw when we were doing the assembly, these pieces just slide in. I felt that they were tight. I didn't feel like they were ever gonna go loose, because I know some people are concerned about, it sliding off mid-game if you're doing something pretty active. Other companies use stuff like this as well. While I was playing, I didn't feel like it was going to come off at all. Price point, we're looking at 140 Canadian, 145 I think on their website, 140 on Amazon is where I got it. So that is the most expensive one that I've ever got, definitely. And so you might ask yourself, why haven't I reviewed this yet? The price point was one of the reasons. It was big, a pretty big price point, and I didn't really want to put all that money out. But I've been reviewing VR accessories for a couple of years now, and I thought, okay, I gotta do this one. The S3 Pro is definitely one that I need to purchase. So it is more of an investment, than just going out and buying a head strap. So definitely consider that when you are purchasing it. The battery is 10,000 mAh, so it is more than the Quest 3 itself. So it'll give you, depending what you're doing, 2.5 to 3.5 extra hours of game time. Depending what you're doing. You got me about between 2.5 and 3 of extra playtime with that one. Okay, let's. This is a solid head strap, but I want to go through some of the things that I didn't like about it. Now, I'm not trying to be critical or anything. I just want to be real with you because this is an expensive head strap, and I want you to know how it fit for me because everybody's different. I know a ton of people sing its praises 100%. And honestly, I really did have, maybe I had my hopes up a little too high because of all that, because it's, I've been hearing about it for the last year and I've never got it. And so I was thinking, okay, I got to try it finally. But I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'll be honest with you. One of the things that I don't like is the weight. 550 grams. The Kiwi Design H4 is 450 grams, so it's 100 grams less. The K4 Boost is 350 grams, so 200 grams less, which is a lot. When I was doing exercise games with this, I found that I really felt the extra weight on the back of my head, on my neck, compared to a lighter head strap like the K4 Boost. 3 days ago, I used this for an exercise, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, and then this morning I used the K4 Boost, and it was a very big change in weight, and I felt like it really did affect the workout as well. Maybe you're not into workouts, then that's okay. So yeah, sitting at 550 grams, it is quite heavy, and for me, I did feel that extra weight. Some of you, maybe you won't feel it, and that's fine. That's up to you. In terms of how it fits, I found that these top pads were always digging into my head. Even, they are adjustable, and I would pull them out as high as they would go, but I still found that after a while, I could really feel them on the top of my head, and they weren't very comfortable. Now, I know it says that you can remove them totally, but I did want to test it with those on there, because I feel like that's part of the experience, right? Now, when I put it on, we'll just put this on here. I found that if I wanted the pressure to be off the front of my face, which is the whole point of a halo strap, is to take the pressure off the front of your face, then I needed to adjust this so it was obviously sitting a little bit looser and sitting out a little bit. But then if I ever wanted to do high intensity games or golfing games or, workout games, there was too much movement with the headset. It was moving too much side to side. And so what you can do, and what I did, is you can slide them in further, slide this piece in further, and then it does sit a lot tighter on your face, but then it also is putting more pressure on the front of your face instead of having all the pressure on the top and the back. And then the other thing that I found with that is when I turn on the fan, so if I turn that on right now, I can feel the fan on my forehead, and then I can feel the fan on the top of my head and down a little bit down the sides of my face, but none of that air is getting onto the actual front of my face, which is the whole point of a fan. And if you're doing in high intensity games, you want the fan to be able to reach the front of your face to help you stop sweating. But if I push this out and have it a little bit looser, yes, the fan is getting onto my face, but there's too much movement side to side or up and down in the headset. So I found the fan didn't really work that well. And what I think needs to happen is when I use the stock interface, there was 0. When I use this interface by Kiwi Design, there was a little bit more because of the vents. Up here I did feel a little bit, but hardly anything at all. And there are other interfaces that have inserts where another fan can go. High Blocks is one, and I've used theirs before. And then that fan, since it's inserted right into the facial interface, is able to reach onto the front of the face. So when I was doing a workout with this, I found that I was sweating just as much on my face as I was with any other head strap that doesn't have a fan. So that was disappointing to me, because I was looking forward to trying to exercise with this fan to see how it worked, but I was underwhelmed in that aspect there. The other thing that, I mean, I understand why they did it, but a lot of other head straps, they do have pivots right here that make it quite easy to, flip up your headset or something to be able to, I don't know, look around you. Maybe you need to help somebody or whatever. But this one here, it does have the ability to flip up here, but it does take a lot more effort to do that, and it doesn't flip up as much. You might be able to here, but these ones are so stiff that it really takes a lot to make this flip up, and then half the time the interface gets in the way of what's going on up here, and it blocks it. And so I don't like that it's not really able to just lift up and see what's around you. It is really rigid and stiff in that aspect there. So let's turn off this fan here. Let me just say that this is a solid head strap. I'm not, by any means, I'm not saying it's not good. It definitely is good. Those are just the few points, in my opinion, that make it not worth the $140. However, if you are into less active games and you want something that's super comfortable, that's going to give you a lot of battery time, this definitely is probably the best option for you. But if you're into active games, if you're into working out with things like that on your Quest 3, you're not going to get anything more out of this than you are out of other head straps, in my opinion. Because of how things work with the Halo strap, I would recommend an Elite style strap that are going to be way less weight and still give you a very good experience and it's going to cost you way less money. So, if you have any questions about this, I'm more than happy to comment below. Send me any comments or any questions you have. A lot of you are probably going to disagree with me very much, and that's completely fine. This is just my opinion. I wanted to share it with you because I thought it was valuable and worth it for you to hear my experience. Since I've been using these things for a couple of years now, and I've reviewed, this one's by the time I post this, it'll be probably 97 or 98 VR accessory review. So I've done almost 100 different VR accessories, a ton of different head straps. Not to say that I'm picky or anything like that, but I just want to give you a very, very standard review. Now I'm going to do a couple of videos comparing this directly to a few other straps like the Anapro A3 Max. I'll compare it to the Kiwi Design H4 Boost. Those are both Halo type straps like this one. I'll also compare it to some Elite style straps that I have on hand as well, just to give you an idea of what it compares like to those other ones. So yeah, thank you for watching this one. Like it, subscribe to True North VR so you don't miss the next one. We'll see you next time here on True North VR.